Even the simplest of things, like the sun that we see early in the morning as it wakes us up and gears us up for the day, has 12 distinct names in Sanskrit. Can you believe it? 12. In fact, if you are aware of the Surya Namaskar, an exercise that has 12 postures or asanas, and which, if performed daily, gives immense health benefit, boosts immunity, tones muscles, raises our heart rate, warms up the body, reduces stress and anxiety, regulates blood pressures, and a lot more. The right practice is not just physically performing these 12 asanas successively, but also following a very specific breathing pattern aligned to each asana, and most importantly, reciting a salutation to the sun, each salutation being one name of the sun. So 12 names, 12 salutations. Just look at these 12 names and you can't help but be wowed by the sheer depth of exploration and rational thinking that our ancestors had, and how they integrated everything, knowledge and rituals, for health, peace, and prosperity. Take the word Mitra, for example. Mit means measured, and Ra means radiation. So, very literally, Mitra means measured radiation. Myth, by the way, can be found in many other words like mithabhashi, which means person with measured speech. Mithahasya is someone who's having a measured smile or a measured laughter. And there's a reason why sun is called as Mitra. It is giving us a pretty much a measured radiation. Anything in excess we would have dried up, like mercury, or anything less, we would have been cold and barren as Mars. So there is a reason why we have a life sustained on Earth, because the sun is giving us very specific amount of radiation, not more, not less. And there is a reason why even friends are called as Mitra, because the right friend would not be saying constantly yes to us, will not be motivating us into doing anything and everything. The right friend is a person who will motivate us to do the right things and demotivate us from doing the wrong things. So, not only the sun, but even your best friend, good friend is Mitra. Ravi, the second name of the sun, which basically means radiant. The sun isn't just a light bulb, it's the source of all energy, it's radiating energy to us. The third name, Surya, which literally is formed of two root words, Su and Ya. Su means good, and Ya stands for Yajna. So, very literally, it means good sacrifice. The sun's constant fusion reaction is a good sacrifice for us, because it's because of this fusion reaction, which, if you look at it in one way, it's leveraging 600 million tons of hydrogen nuclei, combining four nuclei into one helium nuclei as part of the entire fusion process. And all of this is happening every second. 600 million tons of hydrogen converted into helium via fusion every second. And this is this sacrifice, this yajna, the eternal yajna, which is giving us the energy that helps us sustain life on earth. And therefore it is good sacrifice. And therefore Surya. The fourth name is Bhanu, which basically means bright. Bha stands for brightness or light. So who better than sun, to be called a light giver? Sun is also termed as Khaga, because it's the one who's roaming in the sky, and therefore birds are also called as Khaga because they are flying in the sky. Sun is also called as Pushna because it's the nourisher. Photosynthesis, remember? Hiranyagarbha, golden egg. This is pointing to the solar system's origin, or the planetary origins, in terms of how, when solar system was formed out of a dwarf galaxy colliding into our Milky Way galaxy, and when initially, because of the material dispersion, all the denser elements migrated towards the core of the sun, and the lighter elements moved away from it in a linear line, and then few of them started combining at a center, creating planets. Then the planets and planetoids collided, and so on. And there's this whole evolution of how planets came into being. And Hiranyagarbha is, in a way, pointing out to that aspect of the sun being at the center of the planetary system, and in a way being the cause of the creation of all the planets. Marich. It's also termed as Marich for its hotness. Think chili pepper. There's a reason why the green chili is called as mirchi in most Indic languages. It's also called as Aditya, which literally means son of Aditi. Again, for the same reason that it's pointing to the instance when a dwarf galaxy collided with our Milky Way galaxy or Aditi, resulting in the creation of our sun 4.6 billion years ago. So, very literally, Aditya means the son of Aditi or son of our Milky Way galaxy. It's also known as Savitri, which is knowledge giver. Light equals insight. So, very symbolically, enlightenment, or bringing in an insight, knowledge, is being represented by light, and as a light giver, therefore sun is called as Savitri. Sun is also termed as Arka, which is the core of all, because sun is central to life. If you look at the entire food chain, and how the energy footprint moves from one organism to the other as part of the overall food chain, if you track it through, you would realize that at the core of all of it, ultimately it's the solar energy. So our entire life on earth is sustained by the solar energy, and therefore there is a reason why sun is also called as Arka. And last but not the least, the 12th name of the sun, which is Bhaskara. Now you may ask me, hey, we have already used the name Bhanu, so why repeat the name Bhaskar, in terms of leveraging Bha again and again? So this is an interesting facet of Sanskrit etymology, that each root can have multiple meanings. Bha stands for light, but at the same time, Bha also stands for zodiac. And who other than sun, which can be termed as a zodiac creator? If anyone who knows astrology, and the fundamentals of astrology, they would know how zodiac gets created. It's the sun that maps or charts the zodiac in terms of mapping the positions of the sun as it virtually moves around the earth, and then depending on which constellation aligns with that specific sun's position is how the zodiac is mapped or created, and therefore it's termed as the zodiac creator or Bhaskara. Astrology buffs, rejoice.